And now for your weekly dose of metal. Here are your hosts, Morgan Danielle and Luco Blaze on the Metal Experience.
Woo! All right, we just heard a song by Wraith. That was Forced Evolution. And the band will actually be joining us for their first time with their first interview on the show September 11th of this year. And Wraith is actually a very terrible movie. I own it on DVD. And then we heard some Withering Soul. That song was The Dreadful Echo. And actually, Withering Soul just played this past week at Reggie's in Chicago with Septic Flesh and Dark Funeral. Sweet.
And Antichrist.
And What He Said. And Rick Hernandez, drummer of Withering Soul, was also featured in a live drum stream courtesy of Sick Drummer Magazine. Left-handed drummer, and he is fucking good. All right, I am Luco Blaze with Morgan Danielle, the chin of knowledge. And tonight we have with us for their first time, Gorphanage. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves to the Metal Experience world and what you do in the band?
I got to go
ahead,
first.
Steve. We're going in order.
Okay, we'll go in order. I'm sitting closest. Steve, drummer.
Tyler, guitar player / sometime vocalist.
Eric, bass player / sometimes vocalist.
Sometimes vocalist.
Sometimes
Well,
vocalist.
these guys share.
We do share
We
vocals.
do share. It's kind of a strange setup. You don't normally see that. We don't have a front man. Vocals.
Vocals.
It's spelled vocals in our CD booklet, which we didn't bring, so I can't show you. You'll have to take our word for it.
That's
I
super
take
metal.
your word
We
for
can
it.
tell you anything is in there.
Good. I think on our Facebook page it actually says vocals.
Yeah, it does.
Nice, because that's super tough.
It is.
It's very metal.
extreme.
People,
It makes
people
us
know
sound
the
more
image
metal
we're
than
trying
we
to
are.
project. Yes.
Vocals.
And his kills capital.
No,
Chills with
I
a
think
Z.
it's-
Oh,
it is with a Z, though.
It is. We did. Yeah, there's a Z in there.
Nice.
That's extreme.
so people know you're not messing around.
Yep.
So give us the whole backstory of Gorphanage. When did you guys form?
That's a long story. So the origins of Gorphanage, actually, this is Eric talking. Steve and I came from a band in the early 2000s called Wretched Disciple.
You're right to have never heard of us. We
So
played like 5 shows. So.
after that band split up, we kind of went our own separate ways musically for quite a while until, about 6 years ago?
2012, we remembered, right?
For when you first proposed it, though, maybe it was 2011.
2011, 2012.
Yeah.
When you first proposed to him.
The idea, when I first proposed to Eric on my knee.
Yeah. He said, "Will you form a band with me?" And I was like, "You've made me the happiest woman in the world."
It went just like that. We didn't get it on film.
So what did he put on your finger?
An onion ring.
The devil's on your ring.
Yes. So yeah, that happened, and I was in a couple different bands. Eric kind of semi-retired for a bit, and then I wanted to do a mid-tempo death metal band because I'm getting old and lazy, and I don't like playing fast anymore. So Eric was all with me; he was on board with that, and then we started it with my brother, who moved to Oakland a few years ago, so he's not in the band anymore. And we wrote like 6 songs while this guy was still in college.
He was still in college.
And then
Tyler. They're pointing at Tyler.
We are pointing at Tyler. Sorry,
Yeah,
you
we
can't.
should stop
Listeners
pointing.
can't see me doing my thing with my thumb. And then right when he was graduating, was like, I was kind of sending him tracks anyway, and we were kind of buddies. I was like, hey man, this is what we're up to. And then I was like, do you have one more year of school, or are you almost done? Because I honestly didn't know. And he's like, oh, I'm actually done. I'm like,
I've
you
been
wanna?
expelled.
I'm like, you wanna come do this? And he was like, all about it. And I think, weren't you just telling us that like the day you got back, you came to band practice?
The first time I practiced with Gorphanage was the day I got back from college.
So that was pretty fun.
Damn.
Hey,
And then he brought 2 songs in, and then like we had an album ready to go, and that was.
2 songs in a college education.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
all he
it
did.
got me.
And then my brother left, moved away for a while, so we've been a 3-piece for a while. So the new record that we're working on now is all just the 3 of us working on it. So
then the first CD you guys put out, how many tracks are on it?
8 real ones, and there's an intro and a obnoxious 25-minute hidden track that you have to skip like 22 minutes to get to the 2 minutes of funny.
How
We
do
just
you
wanted to make it really inconvenient for people. So
on a hidden track, because there's not very many bands we've had on that.
It's
that
not
have
hidden
put one
anymore.
down.
You
Well,
guys just
I
ruined
know,
Yeah,
it.
you
but
totally just
I'm
ruined
just-
it.
one does it.
I'm
Well,
just
yes, I
wondering,
did.
how do you? Because when I used to figure out that there was a song at the end of it, How do you seriously decide on the time length until you find it?
Well, we wanted our album to be 69 minutes, so
Perfect.
that's exactly what we did.
Perfect.
We're not going to do that for the second one. I think we decided we're still going to have a stupid track at the end, but we're going to spare people the hitting the fast forward button for 20 minutes. So.
You do know that there is a way for people to just get to that hidden track.
How is that?
You import the CD into Audacity, and
Yes.
then you take the song, put it into the file,
And then you cut all that
just rip
bullshit.
it.
I use Audacity all the time.
Nobody
This guy
is
knows what he's
that
talking
big of a
about.
fan of us to do that.
I haven't even done that.
We're currently recording our show on Audacity.
And we're gonna
That is
rip
awesome.
it.
I am
and
familiar
re-rip
with
it,
Audacity.
and then rip it again.
Fun stuff.
Well, if you rip the show on Audacity, you can just get to the your favorite parts then.
Perfect.
Instead of
can.
hitting the fast
Fun
forward.
fact.
So what's the name of that first CD?
May
That's
cause birth.
69
May cause
minutes.
birth.
May cause birth defects.
That's actually not a bad name either, though.
May cause birth is good too. It's called May cause birth defects. The keen Simpsons fan will catch the reference. I will say no more.
So let's talk the name really quickly. Gorphanage. How did that come about?
Eric, you should tell him that because that's also a funny story. Band name.
Oh, so Steve and I and actually the guitarist from Wretched Disciple, went out to New York to visit a friend of ours. And while we were driving out there, driving through, the middle
Ohio,
of nowhere, Ohio, we passed a sign for Gore Orphanage. And we thought, wow, that's a great name for a metal band.
What is
I
Gore
think I've
Orphanage?
actually
It was
seen
like
that
the
I don't know,
sign.
but yeah, if you're driving like that, whatever Route 80 or whatever it is, you drive under a bridge and it says it, and we all were like, "That's fucking hilarious." And then
Oh, Derek.
we just saved it because we
He's
were like,
so
if-
excited.
I think it was an unwritten thing. Like the next one of us that starts a new band gets dibs on that name. And then when I had my brother come in with it, he actually had the no-brainer. He's like, "That has to be one word, Gorphanage, not Gore Orphanage." And we were like, "We never thought of that." So I have to credit him with putting the two words together.
What is a Gore Orphanage?
It was actually the name of the road. Because
Is
it's
that
a
what that
Gore
was?
Orphanage Road.
That's awesome that this guy knows exactly what we're talking about.
He
Yes, I think
he
it
drove
was.
to Maryland Death Fest before and just kind of.
hung out on
caught-
Gore
I
Orphanage.
saw that
Orphanage.
sign.
Saw
I'm
that
just
sign.
like, what the hell is that?
That sign's metal as
That's
fuck.
exactly what we said when we drove.
And you didn't take a picture, Derek?
No,
Come on.
I was
We
driving.
didn't either, actually.
Pull
We
over to
should've-
the side
we
of the
should've done
road.
that.
Kind of like Gorgonzola
You
cheese,
should
I
Google
guess.
it. Google image it. See if we could find
Google
it.
image, yeah. Google image. There you go.
Okay,
Derek's
hold
on
on.
it. Derek's
Let me
on
see.
it.
I'm going to do it.
But
Yeah,
that is,
Gore Orphanage Road, Ohio.
that is
Okay,
awesome.
There we
That
go.
is awesome.
Give us Gorphanage Road, Ohio.
That is awesome.
She's looking
Well,
it
it
up.
also says Gore Orphanage is the subject of a local legend in northern Ohio, which refers to a supposedly haunted ruin near the city of Vermilion in Lorain County.
All right, concept.
Okay, this is what Google gave me when I said that. It said, "Okay, Google, give us girlfriend road," and then it came up with Ohio pastor marries his pregnant girlfriend with the blessing of his wife.
Our second choice for band name was Girlfriend Road.
Here,
So that's
You're going to
pretty
read the
cosmic.
whole back. He's teaching you guys the backstory of your band
We're going
name.
to tell everyone that it was this now. This
the
whole
location,
story legend.
the location that is claimed to be the actual site of Gore Orphanage is in fact the remains of Swift Mansion, also called Swift Hollow, which is built in 1840 to 1842.
So the concept album will be Swift.
Originally, the road was simply called Gore Road, referring not to the blood or tissue as the ghost story implies, but to a savior's error in a gore, a narrow strip of land along this road. The word orphanage in the road's name refers to the Light of Hope Orphanage, which is less than 1 mile away from the supposedly Gore Orphanage site.
This is
Light
fascinating.
of Hope wasn't as metal of a name.
Nah,
Do you
Glad
think?
we went with what we
Do you
went
think that area actually has like 4 other bands called Gorphanage because
No.
of this local legend?
with. If they did, we got dibs on throwing the two words together at least. So I think we found one other band called The Gorphanage from somewhere, but
Yeah, but they were lame.
We're
Whatever.
from somewhere.
Here it says, through historians have concluded that Gore Orphanage itself has never existed. The legend claims that in the 1800s, Vermilion, Ohio, a fire was set which killed many children and one African-American woman whose ghosts now haunt the ruins.
pretty
Ooh.
metal.
Now
is pretty
that
metal.
sounds like
I feel like
an
we missed an
inspiration
opportunity
for
with the
some
first
song
album
here.
here.
Historians have also determined that Gore Orphanage is the name of a road, not a building, and many unrelated people, places, and events simply have been combined into a ghost story.
I learned something today.
There
But
you
I
go.
know exactly the road you're talking about, and it
That's
says it
hysterical.
exactly
That's
on a
pretty
big
awesome. Exactly like that.
green sign.
Yes,
That's
there's
where
a
they
green
got their
sign.
name. So next
That
time
is
you
awesome.
drive by, you'd be like,
I know those
Gorphanage.
guys.
They make me cream.
And
I
I
should be
actually was
listening to
thinking
that album right now.
I was thinking that too. It should be a good name for a band.
Yes,
and no
you
one
can't
would
not think it.
no one would believe me in the card if that's what I saw.
Brilliant minds, my friend.
Brilliant. So the May Cause Birth Defects, we have 4 tracks off that we're going to play tonight,
Yes.
correct? Why don't we go ahead and introduce the band to Gorphanage? Now that we've got the whole backstory about how you got the name, and now we got the backstory on the name, how the name got
We
the
didn't
name.
even know. Yes.
Why don't we go ahead and introduce the world to Gorphanage, or the Metal Experience world? What's the first track you guys want to play tonight for us? And what's it about?
Eric wrote it, so
Which song are we doing?
Gorphins, I think.
Oh, Gorphins. Yeah, this was the first song that we ever wrote.
Actually, it is. Yes.
Yeah, so this song,
It's also kind of named after a place, isn't it? Because
Yes.
Orphans of the Storm.
Yeah, the pet
Yeah.
adoption place, Orphans of the Storm.
Yeah, so it's
It's a
just
play
a
on
really cheap pun that I saw out there when we had
We're
the
all
name.
about
I'm
cheap
like going to go
puns.
for that. But yeah, this one is just about zombie dogs. Really, that's
It's as
no
deep as
deep
we
meaning
get.
for this. This was just kind of like
There's
the
a bit of
very
Satan
beginning of the
thrown in
band,
there,
and
too.
we'll just go for generic stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. This was the first song we wrote, right? When me and Eric and my brother got together, we just had nothing. And my brother was like, "How about this?" And he just played 4 riffs in a row. We're like, "Cool."
That's it. That's our first song.
I think so. It probably went something similar like that.
Perfect. Well, let's do it. This one is, you said Gorphins?
Of the Storm.
Yes.
Gorphins of the Storm. Let's do it.
What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets. But enough talk. How about you?
Hey, this is Pete,
Tanner.
and we're Bloodletter, and you're listening to
We are back. I am Morgan Danielle with Luco Blaze, the chin hair of knowledge.
He's got no hair.
Oh, I thought I saw some scruff there.
Some stubble.
Maybe just a little
The
bit.
chin stubble of knowledge.
We are here with Gorphanage for their first time, and we just played an awesome track called Gorphans of the Storm. And I heard some dogs barking in there. How'd you get them to cooperate with your singing?
Well, the guy who recorded them for the sound effects CD that we use, he gets all the credit.
I'll tell you, he has an extensive collection of sound effects of anything under the sun you could possibly
Yeah,
imagine.
the,
And I went through like all the discs in the studio while we were putting this stuff together, and was just like finding weirdly named things. You would not believe the amount of cow sounds he had. And he had one that was called Surprised Cow, and it was
that
like
was great. I forgot about
it
Surprised
was
Cow.
like a surprised cow mooing, and it was the greatest thing I've ever
We
heard.
never got a sample of that, but we should have used
Yeah,
that.
we couldn't figure out in which song to put it.
That should have been somewhere in that 22 minutes of silence.
You're
Should've
right.
just put a random cow.
We should have
surprise
just had a
cow.
random
Why
cow
didn't we do
move.
that? Missed opportunity.
Spoiler alert for album
The gentleman
2.
who mixed that album, John Griffin, is really awesome, and he does a lot of audiobooks, and he does sound effects for like pinball machines and all kinds of crazy shit. So he actually uses those sound effects, but we might have been the only metal band to go in there and giggle at Surprise Cow and dogs barking, and we use like battle noises.
Oh, yeah,
for
a lot of
song
battle
too,
noises
which sounded
for
like
Ogre.
kitchen forks scraping
Yep.
together. Actually, when you listen to them, but he had a lot of good stuff.
So then, where did you guys record that CD?
It was a long, drawn-out process.
Go ahead, tell them, Tyler.
Well,
Where
it
did we
was
record that CD?
Where we recorded it was Mercenary Digital Studios in Beach Park with Scott Creekmore, who's worked
The man.
with. Yeah, if you want extreme metal recorded anywhere in like the north suburbs, he is the go-to guy.
He did the new Dysphoria album. He's done like Everything Must Die stuff. Like he's the go-to guy.
Mm-hmm. But we recorded it there over months, a couple different sessions over, I don't know how long it took us to finally finish the recording, but then we went to John Griffin's studio, who Steve was just talking about, and he mixed and mastered it for us.
And then we went back to Scott. No, Scott mastered it.
Yeah, Scott
yeah.
mastered it.
John mixed
John
it,
mixed
and we
it.
went back to
Scott
Scott. He
mastered
mastered it. And that's the guy that we're recording our new record with. Same
And he's
Scott
doing
again.
all the mixing and mastering.
Yeah, he's going to do the whole thing. We're just going to stay with him the whole time now. So, good dude. Me and Eric have known him forever. We recorded actually a Wretched Disciple album with him that we never released, which I don't even remember the reason why, but that's probably a long story.
We broke up.
Well, like a year after we recorded that album. But yeah, so we've known Scott for like a million years. He was in Lupara as well, and
Broken Hope.
He was in for a bit, and he does all the Putrid Pile records. He records all those. So
Yeah, actually, Sean came out to that Wretched Disciple session and was hanging out that one
we were
day when
hanging
we were
out in
recording.
shooting pool. Yeah, Sean from Putrid Pile just like showed up. They hang out like all the time. So
So
I got it in my car.
when was May Cause Birth Effects released?
well, we released it digitally, and then like a year later we got physical copies.
Yeah.
But when digitally?
I think digitally it was
February of 2015.
February 2015.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said you're working on a new CD.
Yes.
What are the details? Give me
Oh,
the
we got
dirtiest
lots
of
of them.
details.
Well, it's a concept album. What's it about, Eric?
So this kind of, I don't even really know
Loosely
how.
a concept
Yeah,
album.
it's more just a
a
themed,
themed
album. The album is going to be called Swank. It is basically every song on the album is a love song in some way.
Ooh.
The whole
in,
album is
in a
about
metal way.
sex, and half of it is about sex with food. I don't know how to.
Yeah, surprisingly, as the lyrics got developed for this album, a lot of the songs ended up being about food as well, and I'm not
That
quite
was
sure
accidental,
what
but
that
the
says.
love theme was intentional.
Did you have to do any research?
A little bit.
I think it's just the
We
album
need to get
we were
food,
born
so we-
to record.
We went to the grocery store and went
Couple
to some porn
cherry
shops.
pies.
Yes.
Oh,
things
what,
like that.
it was pork chops.
Warm
I
apple
prefer
pie.
the rougher. I like the
Well, warm apple
pineapples.
pies.
I think
just
it
rub
happened
pineapples on
because,
myself. That's
Like the
that's
first
really
two
what
songs
coconut-
we wrote just
Yeah,
happened to have like
yeah.
food references, or in the title, "Taste the Fuck" and "My Heart Belongs to You" and "My Liver Does Too." And then like Eric wrote the lyrics and they had food stuff in them, so we're like, well, why don't we just make all the songs about like porn and sex and all that kind of shit? And then we went with that. But there's more food references even than that, I think.
Yeah.
I'd have to Meat Raffle is a song. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
meat raffle.
It's an ongoing thing. I don't know. The food part's accidental, but yes. And Swank is another Simpsons reference. If people are keen enough to catch that. There's a pattern here. We like to be predictable.
God knows where we'll go with the third album.
And what's the expected ETA on the release?
That's a good question.
That's a
So far, so
question none
good.
of us really know the answer to.
We
though.
got drums and guitar done in one weekend, which was good. Drums one day, guitars one day, and we kind of have like 3 weekends booked. So we got 4 more days. We'll try to wrap it all up.
Bass and vocals.
Yeah, and also accordions and trumpets.
Accordions and trumpets were
some
not
electronica.
exaggerating.
Nice.
And we have like 3 times as many movie and like TV show samples for this album. And we actually rewrote some songs around like samples this time. So it's
This
like
sounds ridiculously
we're
awesome.
We're kicking it into silliness, taking the silliness seriously.
Can you give us a sneak preview and give us one of the most obnoxious lines that you can think of that you wrote so far?
Lyric?
Yes.
What's the funniest lyric?
I don't know, like
Something in taste, maybe. I don't know.
yeah, that whole song is like that song.
We can give you some of the topics we
Yeah.
cover in the songs.
Like
that might be
Taste
better.
the Fuck, which will be the opening track to the new album. That title came from a friend of ours, and it
Yeah, a
was
friend of
just-
ours, Steve Crook, said that. I forget the story, but
I
it was
just
so
got
funny
the
we
blanket
saved it.
demand, like, we're going to have a song with this name. Like, you have to have lyrics for it. And I spent a long time, like, I had no idea, like, what to make the lyrics to Taste the Fuck about. And one day I was, like, driving my car, and if you guys are fans of Seinfeld, there's an episode where George starts mixing food and sex. And I don't know why, but this popped into my head and as I was driving, and I was like, ooh, that's a really good idea for Taste the Fuck. So the song basically just became this like weird mixed metaphor of like food stuff and sex and
Tyler, you should tell him about Long and Heavy, because that
Long and Heavy is basically what the title suggests. It's a very long song. I think when it's finally finished, it's going to clock in somewhere around like 15 minutes. But there's 4.
You mean 15 inches? No.
yes. Ba-dum.
There's like 4 movements to it. It's probably our proggiest song, I guess. If you know,
Proggy is
yeah, that's a stretch.
it's proggy in structure,
Conceptual
I guess.
form,
Yeah,
yes.
conceptually proggy, but it's about the rise and fall of a porn star who, she
God.
grows up like abused by her uncle. She goes into the porn industry. She like can only get jobs doing really disgusting, horrible porn.
Did you read Jenna Jameson's book? Is this?
Well, I mean, Jenna Jameson is much classier than this.
Yeah,
type
I
of
don't
title.
know.
She actually became a household name, kind of. This poor
But,
girl that he's talking about.
Spoiler alert, it ends with her suicide.
Oh.
Yeah, it ends on a
Oh,
downer.
fun.
But then we put a silly hidden track at the end, so it's all good. So it's all funny. And then we have a song called Smoke More Pussy, Eat More Weed, which is self-explanatory.
Is that taken from Skeleton Witch?
Smoke more pussy, eat more weed.
No,
should-
none of us are Skeleton Witch fans, I don't think.
I do like the
If it
Skeleton
is,
Witch
if that
beer.
does bear resemblance to other songs, I think Everything Messiah has a song, something with weed
Yeah,
in its
smoke
title.
weed, eat people.
They do.
Yes,
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah.
So,
Smoking weed, eating people.
That
so
is
we're ripping
not
them
how
off.
it goes.
That's all right.
Whoa.
That's how the new version of it
Whoa.
goes that they do.
Oh my
Smoking
goodness.
weed, eating people.
So yeah, it's stuff like that. New album has 10
Smoke
songs on
people,
it too.
eat weed.
I'm sorry, you said 10 songs.
Yes, so 2 extra ones plus a 15-minute one.
So
which is
with
good.
the May Cause Birth Effect CD, where can everyone find that? And even the hard copies.
Well, right now I don't even know how how many hard copies we have left, but
I still
Do
have
I?
some. They're in my car. Basically, if you can find
You can
me
find Eric's car.
at
can
my
find
car.
Eric's in his car.
You know what? We're probably still gonna set something up on like Big Cartel or something like that. But for right now, just on my like eBay page that I sell random crap that I have lying around the house, I have like that album on there. So we kind of have a link to that. But otherwise,
Hey,
it's
look
just
what I found.
yep. But it's available digitally like
On
everywhere.
everything.
It's on
Yeah.
Amazon, iTunes, CD
on
Baby,
Spotify.
It's streaming. It's the whole thing's on YouTube. All that kind of stuff. We also have a YouTube page where we try to put like footage from every show that we do, so it's got a good amount. And there's a documentary on like our first album, like an hour long. We're gonna do another one for this
I don't
one.
recommend watching it. It's very long.
It's mostly my brother falling off chairs. And
That part is pretty funny. Though.
us making mistakes and me fucking up drum parts. We should have just played it in fast play with Benny Hill music, and it would have been like an hour of just bloopers.
And that's on the YouTubes. You can find that.
Yeah, our official YouTube page, which I don't. If you type Gorphanage on YouTube, it'll come up. Gorphanage official, I think.
I'm
it might
looking
be
for
called.
Right Meow.
I think we subscribe to you guys' page, if I am not mistaken.
Yes. We need
I think
to
you guys
do
only have like a couple
more
videos
with
on there,
ours.
but
Yes.
start videotaping the podcast. Guess you'd have to hire another guy to do that.
Yeah. there's things still having to be done. We'll get
We
to
need
there.
our
Sometimes
costs.
watching a podcast is kind of
Boring.
boring. Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
it's
kind of
people sitting
unnecessary.
around talking.
Yeah.
You can listen to our beautiful voices. That's the only
Yeah,
that's really
Orphanage
what you need.
official. Here
So
we
let's
go.
There
let's
it
talk a little bit about the Gorphanage logo. It's a very odd font. Who created
That was
We
Eric's idea.
spent so much time on that font. too.
drawing cocks?
I
Drawing
had it, I
cocks.
saw it in my head, and it just I could not.
Eric saw Cox.
Watch
in his
too
head.
much Superbad.
I have no ability to draw on my own. If I did, I'd be a much more productive person in the band realm. But I saw it in my head, and what we basically the idea was, I mean,
Looks like
Gorphanage.
some buttholes too.
So Steve and Tyler posed
you
for
go.
you to get some ideas, and you created
It's,
a
well,
logo.
like I saw it in my head. Like I wanted it to look kind of almost like like when a clown makes like a balloon animal. Like I wanted the letters to almost look like balloon.
Like the Bubble Yum
Yeah.
logo.
Yeah.
We
Balloon-
kind of
like
wanted
the
it to
bubble
look
yum.
like that.
Yeah, and that font
was
just
Eric's
doesn't
direction
exist.
for it.
So, but like it
Yeah,
really
we had to draw it.
it really kind of came down to like Gorphanage is kind of taking the piss out of metal, So like rather than having like a real unreadable, sharp, pointy logo, we were gonna have something that was super readable and soft and squishy looking.
Super ridiculous.
With the
Is-
inverted
yeah.
cross.
Yeah.
Well,
we can't
originally-
escape all the metal trappings.
We got to have some old school cliches in there. But the inverted, I tried to do the inverted cross like as a bubble, but it just looked like a dick. So I was like, that ain't
Which
gonna work.
sounds
So then-
fine.
then we had the idea to like actually make it piercing the balloon letters. So I should have put like the balloon letter it was piercing, like running out of air with like squiggly lines coming out of it. But
Well, you could
we
always
wanted to get it over
revamp
with. So
Yeah.
I like
could
I
do
like
that.
the one that you did where you incorporated prints.
the what?
The
The Prince
prints.
one?
Yeah.
Did
yeah,
I?
do our like
The Prince symbol in it.
Formerly
Oh,
known
yes,
as
yes.
lettering. We
That
should
was
make a new logo like that and
hilarious.
just
Should-
have it
yeah,
be
we
like
should
a
keep doing that. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay,
balloon
okay.
penis.
Isn't that a
Yes.
picture of Michael Jackson drinking a 40 with two midgets?
Oh, are you guys looking at all our? Yes, I don't know where I got that from, but that's
It's very important to the band.
I think we had a conversation if that was photoshopped or not.
What
and
happened?
I think it is.
I think it's no. I don't think it is. I think that's a legit picture.
It is a legit
It
picture.
is a legit picture.
That's
I think I
amazing,
looked
then.
it up.
Oh, there it is.
Guys,
Well, while we
So
determine
it's from the YouTube page. I just
Oh yeah, the Prince
The
picture we
background's
did.
on.
I think when Prince died, we like as our homage, we did our Gorphanage Prince picture. The one with him in the shower, or the other one.
like Easy E almost.
Easy
Yes,
E with
that Michael
two
Jackson
midgets
picture is
drinking
great.
drinking a 40.
well, let's play another track from Gorphanage. What would you guys like to hear next?
Oh, we could play Tyler's song. Tyler, tell him about your song.
That would be Cauterize the Stump, if you're keeping track at home.
I like that name.
It's also about having sex with food.
I think that was the first song I wrote for Gorphanage. I think Gastric was second, right?
You may be correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Cauterize the Stump is actually, at that point, I was still kind of writing serious lyrics because I don't think I really knew the the idea behind
How
the band.
ridiculous
yet.
we were gonna get.
Yeah, that Cauterize the Stump is actually probably our most serious song. It's about a guy who has a mental disorder, which is a real mental disorder of people who like are obsessed with amputating their own limbs and they want to be amputees. So it's about a guy who is cutting off his own limbs. Basically.
Sounds
we have
like
a
fun.
sample from Dead Snow in there as well.
Yeah,
If
which,
someone, if someone wants to catch that, we'll probably do a remix of this song and make the lyrics about having sex with food at some point. But for right now, it's about what he just said.
Perfect. Let's do it, Morgan. Let's
Cauterize
enters, the blood flows free. Make an incision with precision. From the womb on such a bomb. My one good hand opens a casket. Make an incision with precision. From the womb on such a bomb. My one good hand opens a casket. Cauterize the stone. That's all. In my shaking hands all through bones and tendon. Blood flow forming around me for help. God and my own
You're listening to the Metal Experience.
We've assembled a collection of bands who have drummers.
I do magic.
Well, it's easy if you try, Dick. Now sit back and listen.
All right, we just heard Cauterize the Stump by Gorphanage.
That was another tasty track.
So tasty.
We're working on Cauterize the Trump.
Cauterize the Trump coming next.
Another part 2.
And that was off of the May Cause Birth Defects CD. We are rocking out here with Gorphanage, rocking out at Fitz's Spare Keys. Everyone's always welcome. Tuesday nights we're doing recording. Either we're in the back or we're in the dungeon in the basement. Tonight we're in the back. and it's kind of quiet. No one's bowling, so got the bar pretty
People
much
are
all to
bowling.
ourselves.
What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, they are.
There it is.
There they are.
I'm hearing balls drop left and right.
Morgan always hears balls drop.
I just got my ear to the ground for him.
It's
She
like
got her
a
ear-
high school locker room. There's so many balls
Yeah.
dropping.
What locker room do you think I was changing in there, Tyler?
What was
The
that?
men's locker room with all the
No.
balls.
I-
Yo guys,
Wrong
my
answer.
name's Morgan. I'm here for the ball dropping. Well, on that note, let's talk to her little brother.
What?
Speaking of balls
Speaking
dropping,
of balls dropping,
feel like Dick Clark. There's so
Oh
many
my
balls dropping. That was the second one. I
was
thought
a
the high school
terrible
locker room one was
transition.
better.
Very, very snare
Well-
drum symbol worthy.
It's about that time.
it's about that time, Derek.
Time to sit back and relax and listen to the one that the metal gods themselves gave us. It's time for the heaviest of them all, the chin hair of knowledge.
So, Luco,
Yo, brah.
tour news, random news.
Tour news.
All right.
I always like the tour news first because I like the random news so much. I want to hear it second.
Well, keep in mind, with
Hey, Derek,
it-
also keep in mind that Wilford Brimley was in Jean-Claude Van Damme's Hard Target.
we'll do.
I was unaware.
But so just keep in mind some of the tours I'm announcing. I really don't care for, but I'm just doing it because it's someone out there
we
listening.
could all just rip on all these bands.
Someone out there listening might be like, "Oh, I want to go to that."
Ooh, I want to go to all
hating
those
on me,
Seether
guys.
shows.
So, first one I don't care for, but Five Finger Death Punch, Breaking Benjamin, Nothing More, Bad Wolves. August 29th at the Hollywood Casino Amphitheater.
I know where I'll be in my room beating my dick
I may be going.
without me.
Anybody
So I'll be in my
cares.
room beating my dick.
Rob Zombie, Marilyn Manson,
I saw that.
July 15th, Hollywood Casino Amphitheater.
Don't sign-
Morgan will be beating her dick.
Rob Zombie
don't
might
have
be
a
good to see
dick.
again. So that
Who's
one I
opening for who on that show? Who
they're
gets-
co-headlining. They might be switching off
I
every
assume
single day.
Maryland is opening.
They tried this before, and then they ended up getting all pissy at each other.
Well, Maryland's all like fat now.
Well,
so
it's
awesome.
the battle of John Five's bosses.
Is he
what they
playing
should
in
call
both
it.
bands?
He's in both, isn't he?
He was in
about
both.
that.
Yeah.
Is he playing in both though?
No, he's only playing
He's
in Zombie.
in Zombie, right? Yeah.
Jonathan Five, that's his name.
Maybe you should just take that whole tour off so it's no conflict.
Jonathan Stephen Five. That's what his mother named him.
All right, so the next tour news.
Polish name, I believe. 5.
The next tour news: Event Sevenfold, Prophets of Rage,
I
and
kind
3
of
Days
want to go
Grace.
to it. I
And
think it
3
sounds
Days
really
Grace.
awesome.
Prophets of Rage would be cool to see again.
Yeah, but I heard Avenged Sevenfold has an awesome stage show for the new album, The Stage. They were talking
to
about
take
it.
away
we
from
saw
their
I'm
live
still
show.
With
surprised.
Metallica,
You
that's
still
what
have
they
to
were
listen to
saying.
the music,
Yeah.
though.
I'm still surprised they got the dude
They
of
were
Bad
really
Religion
fucking
and
good.
Suicidal
Bands.
Tendencies on drums.
Say that again.
They have
what?
the drummer of Suicidal Tendencies and Bad Religion on drums.
Dave
You know,
Lombardo?
that guy was on, Suicidal Tendencies.
I thought Dave Lombardo was playing for Tendencies.
No, he was. The dude was of Bad Religion
Oh,
and
okay,
Suicidal. He's
okay.
not current.
Oh, okay, I got you.
But it's
Who is it?
Brad is the
His name is
first name.
Brad.
I thought it was
Everyone
Brett.
calls him B-Rad.
Isn't it Brett?
Brett, maybe.
His name is Brad.
I don't know.
His name's Brad.
But yeah,
Brett.
he was
Some
the
guy
Bad
with
Religion.
Brett.
Suicidal.
That's it.
So then the next bit, this band was cool seeing live before. Geigen.
Guigan.
Geigen and Sunless, May 7th at Reggie's.
Okay.
Then we got Black Dahlia Murder playing Nightbringers in its entirety.
Oh, Night.
Whitechapel's playing This Is Exile in its entirety. Flesh God Apocalypse, A Virgin Crowns, and Shadow of Intent. That's June 8th at the House of Blues.
Ah, so good.
She's like, yeah, I won't be there.
I do want to go.
This next bit, I already have my tickets for. X-Hoarder with War Curse, Dysphoria, and Rain, July 14th at Reggie's.
Oh,
Local
local
band
band
Local
Rain?
Dysphoria?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And
Those are
Local
good guys.
Rain.
Those guys are great.
So, but it's X-Hoarder's only Midwest date. So that's going to be fun.
Wait, you said Ex Mortis?
X-Hoarder.
Damn it. I like Ex
Hoarder.
Mortis.
It was they came around the same time or a little bit before Pantera, and they were the ones that created the sound, but people kept saying Pantera ripped off X-Hoarder.
Tampora.
So, and then the next bit is Armored Saint coming in playing Symbol of Salvation in its entirety.
Is John Bush in that band again?
Yes, he's always
he
been
was.
in that
Nice.
band. And then Act of Defiance, which is former guys of Megadeth and member of Shadows Fall and the former singer of Scarred Martyr.
What? That's Chris Broderick's new band?
What
Yeah.
former
Yeah.
guy of Megadeth?
It's
Chris
two.
Broderick and the drummer, right?
Yeah.
Sean? Yeah.
Sean Drover.
Yeah, yeah.
And then forget the guy, Shadows Fall's name, and then the dude who Scarred Martyr on vocals.
Scar the Martyr, the guy with the long blonde hair.
Yeah, he's on vocals.
Sorry.
It's July 21st at Reggie's.
You know what was really disappointing?
Scar the Martyr.
Scar the Martyr.
That's not a very good band name.
Wasn't a very
I've
good
seen
band.
that band, but I don't. I've
I was
never heard them.
disappointed with
Never heard
Jed Simon. So brutal and
Yeah.
so disappointing.
Don't go to that show on July 21st. Go to Warped Tour.
And then next bit, I already have my tickets for this one too.
Okay.
Worm Rot with Escula, Sick Tired, Handsome Prick, and my friend's band Melting Rot.
And Hanson.
Handsome. Handsome
I originally
Prick.
thought you were saying Hanson. I was like, what?
Yeah, Handsome.
Yeah, you had me there.
He had me.
Hanson Prick is a pretty good band name.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
No,
to
it's
check out Hanson.
Handsome Prick.
Hanson.
I'm gonna mbop all over my face, neck, and
mbop
chest.
Those guys, Prick. That's a good band name.
But that's May 30th at Reggie's. I got my ticket for that already.
All right, all
gonna
right.
be cool.
So we know where Derek will be in the pit,
Yeah.
killing people.
For some grindcore.
Good.
He just wants to see some handsome prick.
I want to see I want to see Worm Rot. That's the main reason I'm going.
Weimrot.
And then Ufomut.
What?
What?
It's UFOMAMMUT.
UFO Mammoth.
Yeah. Okay. I can't pronounce that.
Tyler knows all the bands from other
And
countries.
White Hills, May 27th at Reggie's. And then Morgan, Fit for an Autopsy with Great American Ghost, April 17th at Reggie's.
Hey-o.
A lot of Reggie shows.
Yeah, and a lot of Hollywood Casino Amphitheater shows.
That place is very far.
I will only be there once, and that is for Slayer.
That's in Joliet,
Slayer.
Yes.
What?
No, that's in Tinley Park.
Tinley Park.
Tinley
Oh, is that what it's called
Yeah.
now?
Although
Yeah,
I,
I think it
Hollywood.
Was that place that keeps
Casino
changing names?
Amphitheater.
Tweeter Center,
Yeah,
then it was,
yeah.
then
First
it was
Midwest
I
Bank.
saw Roger Waters
yeah.
there.
I saw Roger Waters and McCartney there.
I saw. I was listening to Howard Disney in the gym.
I've never
That
been
guy
there.
too.
I've been there so many
Now,
times.
now I kind of wish that we got the Slayer tour without Behemoth,
Stop it.
but with Napalm Death.
I
Stop
agree.
talking. I
I agree.
fucking hate
Behemoth is
Napalm.
like my favorite band, so
No.
I'd much rather see Behemoth.
So
than
the
Slayer, I'm sorry.
Satanists.
Behemoth.
Listen, I'm going to say it. That album's not good. I don't know why everyone
That's
has
my
a huge
favorite.
boner for
That's
it.
my
about to
favorite
fight
album.
with
Ooh, there's
Steve.
fighting words.
I don't know why everyone has such a huge boner for
Maybe
it.
this is when I shut off.
Demi
his
got so much
microphone.
better.
No, me and my wife
Then I
Jenny
got so
are
much better.
all about fucking the Satanists.
I have it on
That album's
vinyl.
So good.
And I listened to it on CD. I'm like, well, I guess I'll never listen to this on vinyl because it's terrible.
Nope.
I-
It's
I-
amazing. It's amazing.
I
It's
prefer
Podcast
the
is
Santanist.
The Santanist.
Oh my god.
Ba-dum-tch.
Maybe I'll have to listen to it again. But I listened to it one time and I was like, man, this
No,
is
don't listen to it.
fucking
Keep hating
garbage.
it.
This
Keep
guy's an
making
idiot.
Steve
No, it's
mad.
awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome.
No, I
Demigod's
think
way
it's
better.
alright.
Demigod's their best.
Demigod's
That-
great, but-
that was their peak.
I think
that was when they
Behemoth
peaked.
Cultist or whatever it's
I
called.
think
is-
Those
Behemoth
kick-
gets
yeah.
better every record.
Those is good.
Honestly.
But Demigod is when they peaked, and everything after
I
that
only
is.
liked them when they were black metal.
Yeah, give me their first album, please.
Wrong.
You needed a long cigarette with a filter on it. You know,
You're all a bunch of communists.
I
Wrong.
only liked them when they
Wrong.
were black metal.
Satanist is great.
I only like Nergal's new country band.
I want to get that CD. Actually, I like what I heard of that.
I got Behemoth's
Nergal.
coffee waiting. I haven't gotten into
You
it yet.
stirred-
But
Do they have a
Stole
beer?
Nergal's
We were just
coffee?
talking about metal bands.
I think they have a wine.
They have,
Do
I
have
thought
a
they had
wine?
vodka.
Or vodka or something.
That seems
Slayer
right.
supposedly
They're
has a
Polish. They
wine
probably
now
have vodka.
too.
Yeah.
It's
You
just
know,
blood.
you know what I should have picked you
Yeah,
up?
probably.
Which I didn't, and unfortunately, I'm sorry. Municipal Waste Coffee.
Yeah, how dare you?
Oh yeah, Dark Matter made that.
Yeah.
Continue.
Sorry. Yeah. So Behemoth, Derek would
It's
rather
awesome.
see Napalm Death than Behemoth.
I've
Yes.
seen Napalm Death. a few
Terrible
times.
answer.
They're-
Saw them at
Both are good
House
live.
of Blues
Good choices.
opening for
I
Cannibal
prefer
Corpse.
Napalm.
Napalm's awesome live. They
Gross.
always deliver.
I love
Arnie's a
Napalm
madman.
Yeah.
He's got all
Okay.
that vegan energy on stage.
Is that everything for tour news?
Yes, it is.
All right, you got some random news.
Of course I do.
What you got?
So the guitarist of Carcass for the last 5 years, Ben Ash, has quit. He's going back to school. And
How old is he?
Kindergarten. He's going back to kindergarten.
He's just going to restart his life.
I got no idea.
Yeah, I just
But,
saw that earlier.
I was in a band
earlier
called
today.
Carcass. It's time
And
to
he
get
wants
back
to
to
focus
reality.
on other musical projects. So far the live replacement is Tom Draper, who was the live guitarist for Angel Witch.
Okay.
He was the guitarist of Crown and Glory, and he's part of the band Pounder,
Pounder?
which is a band from
Love it.
California. Which
About hamburgers?
They
no,
accept
it's
tribute band?
Pounding babes.
it's a heavy metal band that's influenced by like the new wave of British heavy metal from California,
That sounds
with
about
the
right.
Sounds right.
guitarist
Gene probably
of
likes
and vocalist of Exhumed, and also the bass player of Nausea. And it's actually pretty good, just straight classic heavy metal.
Cool.
They have one EP out, and are recording their full length for Hell's
I think that
Headbangers.
guy from
Okay.
Exhumed is in like 7 bands at this point.
Matt Harvey?
Yeah.
He is. He is. And
Keep busy,
all
gotta
of
pay
them
the bills. Stay
rule.
busy.
And then, so Morgan and I were talking about this earlier. The guitarist of Seven Dust, Snot, and Head PE, Sonny Mayo. Is it Sonny Mayo or Sonny? I don't know.
Mayo.
Sunny Mayo is
Yeah,
a,
but he's
name.
I like Sunny Mayo.
yeah,
let's go with that.
He set up a
Sonny Mayo on my tuna
GoFundMe
sandwich.
after he suffered 2 heart attacks.
Oh,
One as
man.
recently as January, and he's kind of looking to cover funds for a stem cell treatment that his health insurance does not cover.
He has no stem cell or stents. He has 2 stents that are
But it's
breaking.
also a stem cell treatment because he's got a coronary artery
Yeah.
disease that's kind of rare.
so I guess
my goodness.
I guess
Probably
his
not gonna
health
make it.
insurance doesn't cover these
Way to be
surgeries
positive.
that he needs. And
I'm surprised he has health insurance. He plays in a metal band. He's got health insurance.
well, there's
He's on his mom's plan.
there no there is
He's
for
still
some touring
26.
musicians.
He's still technically enrolled in college, so he gets his parents' insurance.
And then
Well,
after
best of luck for him.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
brutal.
right?
well, they're playing at
Just
the Forge.
regardless of what band you're in, that's fucking that sucks.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
you never wanna
totally,
hear that.
totally.
and then after 14 years of existence, the record label A389 Recordings,
Wait, what? Wait, what?
A389 Recordings.
Okay.
It's a mouthful.
I feel like the number changed for a second.
A389.
Yeah, that's what it is. They're officially closing their doors. The label is run by the guitarist of Integrity. Dominic Romero, and has released records by Pulling Teeth, Ringworm, 100
What?
Demons, Noisem, and Genocide Pact, and many more. They're actually
He pulled teeth.
Pulling Teeth is
Oh.
a band,
Band.
but they're closing their doors after 14 years of existence. So yeah,
Bummer, Derek, with the bummers over here.
Yeah, you're harsh in the mood, man.
I know.
Killing
Sad
my,
news.
you're killing my vibe, bruh.
And then last bit I got is Skeleton Witch have announced that they're parting ways with drummer Dustin Boltes. I think that's how you pronounce it. Boltjes.
Okay.
The band has
Bolt
announced
jizz.
that
BLT jizz.
that John Rice, the dude of Job for a Cowboy, Revocation, Behemoth, 1349,
1349.
will be playing drums with them for the time being
He was in Behemoth
live.
when that dude was like.
Yeah, Inferno had what was going on?
I thought didn't he have a
I
kid?
think he had a kid. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was like last year. Yeah.
And then what is it? Was
Inferno.
it
That's
was
just what his parents
Frost.
named him.
yeah,
He
Frost
couldn't come
from
to
Inferno
America.
Junior is his
We'll
kid's
name
name.
him Little Baby Inferno.
And then he filled in for 1349 when Frost couldn't make it into the States.
Yeah.
Like always.
Yeah, right.
And it was funny seeing the dude from Job for a Cowboy with corpse paint.
What?
Did he look super cool?
Wait, I thought Job
Like
for a
the
Cowboy
coolest.
used to wear face paint.
Fuck no.
Maybe
No, they
not.
used to
don't
wear
think so.
skinny jeans.
They
Oh,
used to
yeah,
wear
they
each
did wear
other's
skinny
jizz
jeans.
on their
That's
faces.
I remember that. Oh my god.
Not to, I'm not trying to talk bad about it.
I used to like them. The only song I got on my iPod is an Exhumed cover by them, but that's about it.
I listened to one of their records and there was like an 808 boom like every 17 seconds and it was driving me fucking nuts. But
That's
I don't know
probably
if
their
that's
first EP.
Yeah, it
I
was
didn't like them
when I
at
first
first
heard of 'em.
because of all the pig squeals. I'm not a fan.
I saw them
thought it
headline
was too
over
many
Behemoth.
Animal noises.
That's silly.
Well, I'm surprised you like Gorphanage. With our surprised cows and dogs
Well,
barking.
you got to remember when I was starting to hear some of this stuff for the first time, not everything appealed to me at first. Now I take some.
Morgan's
true.
listened to Britney Spears and NSYNC, and
I still do.
she still does.
Don't.
So
Morgan, I got to show you sometime. I've got a
pube.
I don't want to see that.
I've got an album on my iPod. It's a whole gore grind / porno grind tribute to the Spice Girls.
Oh my god.
Morgan loves listening to porno grind with her
It's
brother.
by a band called On Dying Lust for like
You're making
cadaverous
this
mutilation.
weird.
Spice Girls are reuniting. You should have had that in your news.
Yeah.
It's metal as fuck.
Yeah. They're supposed to be going on tour.
My favorite pastime is listening to porno grind with my little brother. And
Put that in your OK.
We could
Cupid
throw on some
profile.
cock and
These
ball
are good
torture.
Gorphanage
What?
lyric ideas.
No.
Interest, porno
Done.
grind, and my brother.
Done. This just got super weird. Who wants to run the board for the rest of the show? I need to
Interest,
step
porno
outside
grind, and my brother.
Ugh.
But that's it. I'm done.
Good times.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, On
Well-
Dying Lust for cadaverous mutilation.
Well, let's play another Gorphanage track. Let's
The one
get
with
our
more
minds
animal noises in
out
it.
of the gutters and listen to.
What,
Well, not if you're playing Gorphanage.
want to play Journeys?
No, let's do Beelzebub.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's the
okay,
fuck
yeah.
muscle.
Since we're talking about all these sexual things, let's play that
Yes.
one.
So, what is this?
Do you have to ask?
So there is kind of like an interesting backstory to this. This is the only
do tell.
This is the only song on this album that all of the members of Gorphanage were credited as writers of.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't.
I
Write
thought
anything on
Gorfins
this
was.
song.
I think you're wrong. I think Gorfins is.
No, Gorfins is definitely not because I didn't write shit in Gorfins.
Yeah, but we came up with that slow part.
Sorry, we're gonna
Yeah,
argue
but
on
you came
air
up
for
with
you guys.
the
okay.
siren noise and.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right, I guess.
That's right. I win.
Very ending
God
of
damn
Fuck
it.
Muscle.
I guess.
So, what is
Just say the song title because it's pretty funny.
Beelzebub? What is that?
Beelzebub.
Beelzebub?
Yeah, what is that?
It's a
No,
demon.
he's like a lesser demon.
Okay.
Sometimes he's Satan. Sometimes he's a lesser demon.
It's sucking
It's a form
someone's
of
cock,
fiction. Yes.
possibly Satan's.
The lyrics lean towards Satan.
Okay.
I mean, the woman in the song is probably being passed around.
You
hell
assume it's
in
a woman?
general.
This
Yeah,
could be a
she's
man
probably-
sucking
well,
Satan's
yeah.
cock.
Well,
It's multi-layered.
This
the
is
lyrics.
2018, brother. It could
Well,
be anybody.
Are there
Left to
any,
interpretation.
Are there any gender-specific pronouns in this song?
I think there are actually. I think I did not make this
All inclusive.
An
all inclusive
asexual-
as I should have.
Yeah.
It's dated. It's a few years old. So
Yeah. Where Gorphanage is not the most
So once
progressive
again, what
band,
is
We're
this
trying,
track
damn it.
called?
oh, what is it called? I
Yes.
thought you were asking us like what it's about, and I kept
Well, that
laughing,
too.
Like,
That too. But I
need to
want
ask.
I want a
choke
full
on
title.
Beelzebub's fuck muscle. is the
Perfect.
name of it.
It
Perfect.
is
Well, here we
perfect.
go.
Thank you.
Yes,
Here's
thank you.
another awesome awkward track now.
Get thee behind me, Satan.
Suck it.
Hi, we're Witherer. Hi, Witherer. And we're addicted to metal on the Metal Experience.
And we are back. That was another Gorphanage track.
What was it called, Derek?
Choked on Beelzebub.
Choke on.
Beelzebub's love muscle.
No.
Muscle.
Derek,
Fuck.
say it one more time. Try it again.
Oh, that's great.
His love muscle. His love gun.
I told you I'm going to screw this shit up.
Put him on the spot.
That was called Lick My Love Pump.
It was called Lick My Love Pump. Yes.
Lick my love pump. What is it called again, Derek? Choke?
We could say what it is unless you want
Choked
to drag
on
this out of it.
Beelzebub's fuck muscle.
Yeah, there we go.
Choke on Beelzebub's fuck muscle.
I'm trying to do the censor.
Is that your parent? Like, that's my mom's favorite track.
Yeah, I don't know. I never asked her. I'll do that. I'll get back
That's
to
a
you.
song, though, we never play live. So if you see us, we won't play it.
Why don't you play it live?
Because Eric doesn't.
You know,
like
each
to
of us,
play it.
each of us kind of has a song in our repertoire that we don't like playing live.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
happens to be my song that I don't like.
I don't
playing
like the
live.
fast one because I'm old and lazy, and Tyler doesn't like one that he wrote that has the hardest riff to play. It's his fault. And Eric doesn't like that one because it's like a bitch to just sing and play at the same time. So, and I do no vocal, so I judge no one who can't or has issues with singing and playing at the same time. I don't know how Dave Mustaine does it.
Did you
Particularly him. Only him. Everybody else, I'm not amazed by.
Only him.
Steve, you mentioned when we were off air before your mom and talking to her back in the day about maggot twat and introducing them to your mom. What does she think of Gorphanage and the music that you listen to?
She lets us practice in her house.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's
So she-
pretty sweet.
I think she's just like most mothers of drummers. She just kind of gets used to it. But my ma was a big pothead and like classic rock. Like she got me into Cheech and Chong and Black Sabbath. Like that was her
Okay.
favorite band. Like back in the day, and she used to grow her
Cheech
own
and Chong
weed
and
and all
Black
that kind of shit. So it's it's just a heavier version of that. So she tolerates
My
it.
mama always talking to me, tell me how to live.
You should cover that song, actually.
That's pretty sweet.
It's pretty metal.
So you go to your mom's for dinner and band practice.
Dad's not here.
And this isn't the first like obnoxious metal band I've been in, so she's used to it. But yeah, I don't know. She doesn't really say if she likes or dislikes it.
Does she have a
She more
Gorphanage
tolerates
shirt?
it. Does she have a Gorphanage shirt? I don't think she does.
I don't know.
I
No.
don't even have a Gorphanage shirt.
I don't know
That's
if I
true.
have one, actually.
Neither of you do. I'm the
think
only
I
one who
have
has one.
Jenny has two of them.
Where
But I don't think I have one.
when you're playing live.
On occasion.
When
On
we're
occasion.
advertising it
Yeah,
for
it's,
sale.
that really is what it is. It's do you want to try to advertise and sell some shirts tonight? I'm going to wear the shirt. That way I
This
can do.
is this band is a business.
It is a business. It's all about the money.
It's all about the brand.
It's
man.
not about like the artistic expression. It's about the money. You know,
about
we
the
wanted
Benjamins.
we wanted to make money, so we got into like death metal. You know,
Yeah. Benjamins.
Where else are you going to make money
I feel
besides
like-
being a local death metal band?
I feel like that's where all the money is.
It is where all the money is. You see, we're just way ahead of everyone else.
The money's got to catch
so
up
much
to
potential.
us, I think.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, we're ahead of the money.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
The money's ahead of you.
What are some of your most embarrassing moments that you've had on stage? It could be in Gorphanage or any of your musical career adventures, but
I don't think we've really had that many.
I had a bass drum when I was playing double bass. I had a kick drum pedal like just die in the middle of a song, and it was my right foot. So I panicked and I was like, "Can I make it through the song without doing any double bass?" And I like moved my right foot like to the left side to try to do it, and I got through like one or two riffs with all my band members staring at me like, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing?" And I had to stop. And then at first they were angry, but then I was like, "Dude," and then they were like, "Oh, okay." So then they just quickly told the audience, and it was okay. So that was a big
guys-
faux pas.
Shit's fucked up. Okay.
But then everyone,
Which band was that?
a society's own.
no. I mean, the best fuck up though was Wretched Disciple. The very first. So the band that Steve and I were in originally, how we met. The very first show we ever played, we had this one song that had a like solo section that went back and forth between like metal leads to like blues leads that were on like a clean channel.
Oh, it was that song.
And our guitarist, like, he went to switch to the metal like distortion channel on his amp, and it just cut out completely. Nothing. And he got on the mic and yelled, "The show's fucking over."
And it wasn't, but it was just a hilarious thing to
And
yell.
Steve and I kind of looked at each other like, well, what do we do now? Like,
It was at the end of the song, so did he fix it, or was that literally?
he did. No, he
stopped?
fixed it. We
He
did
fix
another
it.
song after that, or two. I don't remember. But yeah.
Tyler did a show recently where he busted a string and had to do half of it with a brand new string, so
Yeah,
nothing
and
was
it
in tune.
immediately went out of tune.
But then it became fun, and we're like, guess how quickly Tyler's guitar will go out of tune.
And
Why
the
would it
answer
go
is
out of-
Make it
always.
fun.
What kind of crazy guitar are you using that doesn't stay in tune?
Well, it's a Gibson SG, but we tuned down to B, which I don't think that guitar is really made for.
Yeah, it's not recommended when you play a 6-string.
So I just put like the heaviest strings I can find on it and hope everything.
You'd
goes.
think like 6 years into the band he could have a 7-string guitar, but no.
He doesn't even
that
have a
money
whammy bar on
hasn't
his guitar.
started rolling in.
That's
yet.
true. We're way ahead of that money still.
Doesn't even have a whammy bar,
I know.
Steve says.
We're the only metal band that doesn't have a whammy bar on our
That is
guitar.
true.
How do you do your widdly widdly wheeze and widdly widdly woos?
Well, when I don't play guitar solos.
Yeah, so we don't do the guitar solos.
You
It's
can
simple
just
as that.
mic it.
We did, but like when my brother was in the band, he kind of handled all that shit. But he only did 2 shows with us, and then he booked to Oakland because he got tired of Chicago weather.
So if
And
you're
he's
a
a bitch.
goofy ass motherfucker who plays live lead metal guitar, hit us up.
And you don't want to learn our songs; you just want to wank over them. Wank over them. We could use your talents.
We could use your wanker talents. Well, Morgan, it's about that time of the night.
It is about that time of the night. Here we go.
Now it's time for
Hey man, look what I found!
Only on the Metal Experience.
All right, this week, and just like every week, is always brought to you by our friends at Imprint Recordings. Your music, your imprint. Visit imprintrecordings.com for more information for all your recording needs. This week, we're featuring a winner from songdo.com, which is India's largest network of musicians and listeners. It is the first of its kind platform to provide opportunities to independent artists for getting discovered by promoting their music and performing at the finest venues of live music. That's what Morgan wrote on there for me to read. But anyway, we've got a band from Thane, India. The band is called Eternal Returns. The track is Mumbai. Let's do it.
This is Gup.
This is Trent.
This is Tim. And we're Heavy! And you are listening to the Metal Experience radio show, super show extravaganza, live on what the fuck network? Ah, fuck. Can you edit that?
All right, that was our Hey Look What I Found pick of the week, and that is always brought to you by Imprint Recordings, your music, your imprint. And that band was Eternal Returns from Thane, India, and that track was Mumbai. Check them out, Eternal Returns. I'm Luca Blaze with Morgan Danielle, the chin of knowledge.
You keep always having to think about.
Yeah,
what my
because
name is.
it flows better with chin hair. You need to just grow that back.
I can't.
You sandy
unfortunately.
vagina. So we are still
You
rocking out
dickhead.
here with Gorphanage. And what you guys got some shows coming up, some pretty sweet shows coming up in the very near future.
Yes.
What do you guys got scheduled?
This Saturday, we're playing at the Irish Mill, which we play at very, very frequently. That's in Mundelein. And we're playing with a very, very funny, goofy punk band called The Indeed, who we've done a couple shows with them. They're good
Indeed.
guys. Indeed.
Indeed.
They have a funny band name. Jar Jar Binks is part of their logo. They got the right idea.
That's maybe not a great idea, though. I feel
Well,
like.
Dan told me that they're trying to get sued from George Lucas, so it is a pretty good
That
idea.
is pretty good, yeah.
That's good. That'll do it.
Then they
so,
should start saying Misa and everything.
So we're doing that show. Each band's doing an hour, but the big one is April 7th. We're doing Twat Fest, which is Magatwat's 20th anniversary.
At the Brower House.
At the Brower House, yes.
April
right,
7th.
April 7th.
Right down the
Saturday.
street
We're
from
right
here.
down the road.
Right down the street.
And the first time that we're going to be playing that place and the big stage and everything like that. So awesome.
There was only one stage at the Brower House.
Well,
thought there was
they,
two
they
sides.
Now
opened,
there's two.
they opened up
They
a second
completely
side.
remodeled it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They have.
it's the
This
big
is
room and
recent.
then the really tiny
I have.
room.
They opened up a new room.
Since Incantation.
Incantation. They opened up a new room, I guess, and now they have a huge stage.
Huge.
Huge. I've been there yet,
Strictly
but I-
for this show. That's
Strictly-
why they're opening
And
this
then
new
they're
stage.
tearing
Then they're
it down
tearing it down. Not only are they going to tear it down, they're going to burn it down. At the end of Megatwa, we're just going to light the whole building on
All the more
fire.
reason to come out, folks.
That sounds legit.
I
See
like it.
before it gets burned down. But yeah, it's us, Magatwat, obviously, Air Raid, Armored Assault, Texas
Cookie
Toast
Crotch
Chainsaw Massacre, Cookie Crotch Nuts.
Hyman Moment.
Cookie crotch nuts?
Yes, I don't. Those guys sound hilarious. They sound like they belong in a Magatwat show.
Yeah.
Hyman
Megatwat
Moments, which is a
Cookie.
Female Misfits tribute band. I think if I
Female
You're
Misfits
all right.
tribute
Female.
band.
Yeah, Hyman.
yeah
Hybrid moments. Yeah.
Hyman?
Good song.
and then us randomly.
That's not random. I mean, really, if there was any band in the Chicagoland area that we were destined to play with, it really is Megatwat.
Yeah, it's our true calling. We're gonna
Dick
break up right after
pancakes.
this show.
Dick
That's it.
Pancakes.
It's
Dick
the top of the
pancakes.
mountain for Gorphanage is opening for Magatwat. Good times.
Hyman moments.
Yes, it's pronounced like that.
You gotta, you
All
gotta
that
get all
phlegm.
that saliva in the back
All
of your
the
throat.
phlegm.
So then, what was the date of that?
April 7th.
April 7th.
April 7th. Saturday, I believe. I hope.
You are correct.
We don't know order or anything like that, but I think it's starting at 6. It's like a lot of bands, so it's going on like all night. So.
Yeah, I believe they're doing both stages.
And
They're gonna
I
have
think they
bands.
might be doing both stages. Yeah,
That's really
so
cool.
It's awesome.
That's a really solid
We are
lineup too.
most stoked about that one.
I'm going to put it in my calendar right now.
Yeah.
Because you know where I'm
We're
going
going to fucking twat fest,
It's gonna be
motherfuckers!
I'm going to be at home beating off.
Yeah, there you go.
Just
Fast.
We're gonna throw. You know what? We're gonna dedicate a
Twat
song to you
fast.
at that show.
At home
Really?
beating off.
That's right.
This
For
is for
Luco,
Luco.
who's beating off at his house.
Couldn't make it tonight because he's too bad.
There'll be
Too
much beating off on
Done
stage at that
talking.
show.
Click like.
Good times.
We should live stream him so that can be the background of us playing.
Don't.
Cool. We'll borrow.
Yeah, the
Megan's
show was great
projector.
until there was that dude jerking off. Like, what was going on there?
I'm gonna fucking shoot.
1 second later.
MacGruber?
Magruder.
Gruber. So, how did you guys get into metal?
Some
What were
bizzles.
some of your first
bizzles.
bands that turned you on to this genre?
Madonna for Eric, for sure.
Madonna's cover of that Pantera song. That's what
That converted.
That was only, what, 3 years ago?
Yeah, it was on like the was that Confessions tour, I think. If you really don't think I'm a Madonna fan, I am.
We can break out some Madonna
Like a Virgin?
trivia.
Like a Virgin's is okay album.
Fucking shoot. I'm gonna shoot.
That's for a little later
Shoot together.
material. Bedtime stories.
Whatever that was.
Ridiculous. All right, continue. Your confession.
Oh yeah, how do we get into metal? Probably the same way everybody did by like we heard Metallica and then wanted to hear heavier shit than that. Now none of us listen to Metallica.
Yeah.
The usual.
That's like
That's
everyone.
pretty much everybody.
It was actually a little different for me. I actually got into White Zombie as a teenager, and to me when I was like 13, 14 years old, White Zombie was everything that was cool in the world. Like they were
They
into
still are everything that was cool.
Yeah, they were into like B movies, horror movies. Just the look, everything about them was. I just loved it, but
Except for that shitty vocalist.
Except for fucking Rob Zombie, yeah, no, like really the rhythm section of
Weakest
White
link of
Zombie is
White
so
Zombie.
much better. But anyway, and then it was kind of like it just got into like a little bit more heavier music. So I found like Slayer, and then eventually Morbid Angel, and then it was just
I think
off to the races from there.
Into Madonna. And then
Yeah, but
Madonna was in
that's
there.
my whole other thing, though.
There was some magazine. It wasn't Guitar Player, but it was like Guitar World did a list of like the best death metal albums, and this magazine came out in like 1995. So like,
so it was only for like 10 years.
exactly.
Yeah.
So and I
So
was
Pierce
like,
from Within was number one,
and I was already into like Rage Against the Machine and Tool and Pantera and Megadeth and all that shit. So I just blindly, this is back when record stores were a thing, would just like go look for these. And some of them I didn't like, but some like Slaughter of the Soul. That was the first time I ever heard of At the Gates or that album. Otherwise, I don't know when I would have caught wind of it. But yeah, that kind of got the ball rolling. And then I wanted to listen to more Cookie Monster vocal, obnoxious screaming shit. Tyler?
Well, I basically went from Beatles to Led Zeppelin to AC/DC to Metallica, and then discovered like internet downloading, and I downloaded like
Porn.
Scum and From Enslavement to Obliteration, Blessed
Napalm
Are the
Death.
Sick,
And porn.
Morbid Angel
yeah,
And porn.
Got into
and
Death,
porn, lots
Porn.
of
and
porn.
Death became
Porn.
my
Lots
favorite
of
band, and are still my favorite metal band. But yeah.
Napalm Death is?
Favorite
No,
death
Death.
album?
Oh, okay. No, I know
favorite
Death
Death album is Symbolic, which is also my favorite metal album in general.
Individual Thought Patterns is what I would.
That's
I would
number
go with.
two.
A Sound of
That's my favorite
Perseverance.
death album.
Sound
Not
of
my favorite
Perseverance for me.
death metal album though. Death metal album is None So Vile. That is
The Slaughter of the Soul count
Cryptopsies.
as a death metal album?
Yes.
Okay, that is the best death metal album ever.
No, it's Symbolic.
No, it's
Which
Let's
album?
fight So Vile.
what's up?
Which album did you say?
Slaughter of the Soul. I think that's the best metal album.
None
you
So
ever
Vile
did.
or Pierce from Within. What are you talking about?
Pierce from
Pierce from
Within
Within
isn't even
is
the best
very
Suffocation
sexual as well.
album.
Yes.
What is your best Suffocation album?
Effigy of the Forgotten.
Human
Interesting.
Waste.
You like that more than Pierce?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah,
Pierce
but
is number
Human
two.
Waste is like that's one of those ones where it's like it's cool from a historical standpoint, but in
Well, it
terms
sounds
of
like
actually
shit.
listening to it, it's kind of hard.
Really, though, the best Suffocation release is Despise the Sun. Really. Though.
Despise the Sun.
Really,
Despise the
though.
Sun is really
Really,
good.
though.
I got drunk with Suffocation at a bar
Oh,
in
that's
New
right.
York.
This
one
is a great
time.
story. Eric's got to tell you this.
So when I went out to New York with Steve, like
It was
I
a year after that first.
it was a year after the
Orphanage
first one. I
trip.
went when Suffocation released their first album when they reformed. I was at their album release party, which was at some neighborhood bar in
That was the self-titled album.
yeah, the self-titled album in fucking Brooklyn. And like I showed up there, and like there was like 25 people there, and the guys from Suffocation was there. So like I was drinking with Terrence, and we were air guitar headbanging to the new album, and just like in the bar, just having a great old time. It was fantastic.
And then you called Paul and had him tell him
Yeah,
he was a bitch
so
for not
I
being
had a buddy who was a huge Suffocation fan who did not come out on this trip. So I had the guys from Suffocation. I called him on my cell phone, and the guys from Suffocation took my phone and just were ripping on him about how, like, oh yeah, you didn't come out to New York, like you're kind of a bitch. What are you doing? Why aren't you out here? And it was fantastic.
Now, what do you think about now that Frank is not playing live with them anymore?
Frankie?
It's a shame. I mean, Frank Mullen is an institution in the world of death metal.
He's a hilarious frontman. I love
he's fantastic. Yeah. Oh yeah. The hand chop man.
Seen him a handful of times live. He's always hilarious. He's always good.
I've gotten
very nice.
I saw him once, and I've gotten screwed out of seeing him at least 3 other times.
I haven't seen him in a few years, but
I saw them recently with Morbid Angel and my girlfriend. Like, they started playing Funeral Inception, and Funeral Inception starts like mid-paced, and then it gets to like the blast beat part, and my girlfriend got knocked halfway across the room when the blast beat started. But she's a huge Suffocation fan, so it was okay.
Good times.
When I said I've gotten screwed out of seeing them, they've dropped like at least 4 shows I was supposed to have seen them on.
That sucks. But those guys are fun guys to hang out with. I will say, when I hung out with them, Frank was having a bad day and there was some kind of drama. But Mike Smith and Terrence and the rest of the guys that were in the band at that time were, I don't remember.
Mike Smith, the goalie?
The drummer.
Oh.
Smith,
well, he's not in the band
anymore.
anymore.
No, he's not in the band anymore, but at that time he was in the band.
Mike has a new band now, which I haven't checked out yet, but you would know. The info guy.
The info guy.
To be honest with you, I don't know.
Chin of knowledge.
Info guy.
Come
yeah, whatever you guys
on.
call him. The
Come
info
on.
Chin.
The info chin.
I stumped him on something. He had
no.
nothing.
I know he has another band, but I don't know the name.
But I think there's like Malevolent Creation dudes in it. There's like some heavyweight dudes in it, I think. But Tyler, you remember the name of that band?
No.
I just know he has one, but I haven't heard him or anything. I don't know. We're getting off the subject here.
I'll look into it right now. And I'll
He's looking into it, guys.
Excellent.
We've got a guy
So
on
what's
it.
been the newest band that you guys discovered that's now your guilty pleasure?
I don't believe in guilty pleasures. I don't feel guilty for liking anything.
I'm very open about the fact that I own like 9 Madonna albums. So like, really, does it get any more guilty pleasure than that?
What's your favorite Madonna
My CD
album?
collection. Yeah, what is your favorite Madonna album?
My favorite Madonna
Light,
album
right?
is probably
Like a
either
Virgin.
Ray of Light. Well, I don't know. It's hard. It goes between like Bedtime Stories and maybe
Yes.
music, to be honest with
Bedtime
you.
Stories is excellent.
Bedtime Stories is really good, but it also has kind of a dated production. And music kind of is like,
It's got that New Jack Soul kind of production. I like that.
yeah, but
production,
it's
though.
very mid-90s.
Orphanage should do a New Jack Soul record. Is
We
what
should
I'm-
just
what I'm
start
driving at.
doing covers of Madonna
Or
songs and
that.
just fuck it.
Yeah, I was going to say, what song would you cover if you guys were to do a Madonna cover?
Erotica.
Yeah.
Erotica. Yes, erotica. Thank you.
So maybe for Twat Fest, you have a goal.
Ooh, we do have a month to work on that.
Okay, so here's the kicker.
There's a kicker.
So if we're talking about Dave, former
David.
drummer of Suffocation,
Mike.
Friends
Mike.
call him Billy.
No, Mike Smith. His band.
Mike Smith.
Not Dave Koros or however
Yeah.
you pronounce his name.
No, I gotta go
Mike
old
Smith
school.
has not been in the band since 2012.
Yeah, but he's got a new band with guys from Malevolent Creation, I believe. Unless I read my blabbermouth articles wrong. I don't know.
You
Oh,
read it,
he's
your
in a band
articles,
called
right.
Read it in
Inverted-
my articles.
He's in a band
wrong.
called Inverted Matter.
Voided Matter.
That might be it.
It's part of guys of Italy from Italy,
Oh, maybe that's not it. I don't know.
and he's also in a band with guys from Serbia.
That sounds about right.
This just in, Mike Smith hates America.
Giving those jobs
Fire
to
for
other countries.
Effect.
Oh, okay.
That's
Is that
what
what it
you're
is?
talking
Okay,
about.
okay.
They have
Fire.
nothing released.
That's why I haven't heard him yet.
And he's
Fire
also in a
for
band with from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, called Voracious Scourge.
You know, that guy lives in New York. You'd think he could find people in the New York area to form
New
bands
York's a
with.
pretty big city. You'd think
Nah.
so.
Nope.
Like, no, I need to go to like Eastern Europe.
It's
to
easier
find
to
my
travel
band.
on a plane than get through New York traffic.
The band via email.
Yeah, because he's
modern
the-
technology.
That
You can do it
Voracious
that way.
Scourge band. He's in the vocalist is in the band Sinister from the Netherlands.
Do you remember the first concert you guys ever went to?
Yes.
Yes,
Do you
they do.
remember it?
Mine
Well,
is
not you.
mine
I
is
wasn't
awesome.
asking you. I was asking them.
You said yours wasn't awesome?
No, mine's great.
Not
Tyler, you go
awesome.
first.
Mine was Three Dog Night.
Awesome. Mine was the Monkees, 87 reunion tour.
Hey, you're the Monkeys?
The Monkees.
Yep, I saw the Monkees on the reunion tour when I was 7. First concert ever.
That's badass.
That's pretty
wins.
sweet.
I love
Awesome,
the
isn't it?
monkeys.
Second concert was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when they
What?
Did when they did that pizza.
What?
That was the second
With
one
the
I ever did.
guitar?
Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah, and the whole play that they
Do you
did.
have photos?
I wish I
I
did.
need photos
I don't think
and
I have.
video. Oh
I
my
still have the
God.
Pizza Hut cassette though.
Go ninja, go ninja, go.
Those guys,
Go
yes.
ninja, go
What do you-
ninja, go.
I
That's
saw
awesome.
Go
in
ninja,
1999. I saw the Misfits with Guar.
Nice.
See, Eric has the most
Very
metal
first
answer.
show I ever saw.
That's badass.
That's
It
awesome.
was badass.
So we all had good first show experiences.
Tyler?
I assume Three
What
Dog
was-
Night killed it.
Oh, Three Dog Night.
Yeah,
Three
mine
Dog
was
Night.
Three Dog Night. They played all the hits, of which I think they have 25 number one
Something
songs
like
or
that.
something.
They played all the
They
hits.
played all the hits.
Derek, what was your first concert ever?
Anal cunt.
No, it was Vince Stanfield at the Oregon Ballroom because Morgan and mine, the singer is our cousin.
Oh, really?
That's cool.
I did not know that.
Second show
There's
was
no perks. They
I
have
am-
no perks
I am
from.
No
learning
perks.
so much shit.
My second show was Iron Maiden.
Morgan, what was your
On
first
which
show?
Tour? Which meeting?
Backstreet
Matter of
Boys?
Life and Death
And
when they
which-
played it
Instant
front to
Backstreet
back.
Boys.
Which
Okay.
member of Iron Maiden are you related to?
None.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Is
The first
member
metal
of
show
Avenged
was
Sevenfold that you're
Iron
related
Maiden.
to, like far enough away that you could have sex with them without like
What?
weirdness?
What?
No, he could have sex with them without weirdness just because that's how they roll.
Second or third?
Yeah, second.
Oh, second or third. Well,
Yeah,
you're on the
it's
border.
why would no weird.
He bangs them regardless of how close they are. There's no weirdness.
Tyler asks these questions often, so this is nothing unusual.
It wouldn't be weird if you banged our cousin Tyler if you need to.
Yeah, but I'm not the biggest Avenged Sevenfold.
Does- you don't have to be an Avenged Sevenfold fan to.
Is he hot?
I don't know.
I think
Is he
third-
hung well?
Is he hung? Derek.
Is he hung?
I got no fucking clue.
It sounds
I
like
love how he
you
answers
actually
that
do.
seriously. Like,
Oh my
Oh,
god,
good
Derek,
times.
put it away. Just put it
He
back in your
pulled his
pants.
cock
Is he
out.
hung, Derek?
Oh, fuck. I'll kick your ass.
Oh my god, too funny.
I gotta stop saying good times. I realize I'm saying it like.
Now,
over and over.
second
I
show
don't
you
think
guys
I've
have ever been
heard
to.
you say it.
So
I've
the
said it like
Black
12
Label
times this
Society.
whole evening.
The
Second show.
The second show I was ever at, I can tell you this, was Tattoo the Earth. It was a tour that was headlined
Slayer,
by
Slipknot.
Slayer and Slipknot.
Madonna.
And I wish I've never seen Madonna, but I've
Allstate Arena?
Ah, let's do
Derek?
it. No, I saw them at some place in like the south side of Chicago that was like a golf dome where it was like this like negative like pressure dome, so like they couldn't let like air in from the outside, so it got insanely hot inside this thing, and then they ran out of water to sell, and a whole bunch of people got like sick, including a friend of mine who barfed on the floor. But this place ended up losing their like ability to host concerts because this was such a total clusterfuck. It was on the news. But that was the second show that I ever saw. I met Paul Booth, and the tattoo artist, and Be Real from Cypress Hill at that show.
That's pretty sweet.
And I
Yeah.
puked all over both of them.
I did not vomit at that show, but I did make it through the whole show.
My
It
brother,
was-
ex-Gorphanage guitarist, puked at Arch Enemy, but not because he was drunk, because he ate a bunch of Chinese food and then got in the pit.
Oh,
And then everyone was like, "Fuck yeah, dude!" when he was barfing in the bathroom, thinking he was drunk, but it was not that cool.
Oh,
it was
just bad
Which
Chinese
Arch
food.
Enemy show?
What's up?
Which Arch Enemy show?
That was at the rave with Cradle of Filth. That was the night Dimebag died, actually. Because I remember
Wow.
Cradle of Filth took like 90 minutes to get on stage, and people were like booing and pissed off, like, what the fuck? And then they came out and played, and it was fine. And then when we all got back home, we like saw, like,
Because Cradle of Filth are prima donnas, but
well,
hey.
yeah, that too.
That
but
too.
It might have
Danny
had something.
Filth.
It might have had
Fuck
something to
that
do
guy.
with Dimebag like was getting killed in another state, like right when we were all standing there when that was going
That's
on.
crazy.
Yeah, it was. It was nuts.
jeez.
Was that your second show you went to?
No, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Second show.
Go
Second show?
ninja, go ninja.
Black
go-
Label Society at the
who?
Congress Theater, which I think is closed down.
Yep.
It's
With who?
Brand New Sin.
Three Dog
opened
Night.
for him.
With
They
Three
opened
Dog
for him
Night.
that time. Black Label
They played
kicked it
all
up to
their hits.
headlining.
Third show you guys went to. What was
Oh
the
my God, Derek.
What about best
Ooh,
show?
that's rough.
What about
Yeah,
best
best show.
best show, best in show.
my idea, and I don't have an answer.
For
Kiss
me,
reunion
the fucking
probably.
Megatwat show.
Or
Yeah.
no, actually, yeah, that Megatwat show where the Fike broke out on stage and Dan's bass stopped working and he fell on it. That was probably the best show I ever saw.
I would have to say, hey, honestly, the show that we were kind of talking about earlier, the Morbid Angel and Suffocation and Satyricon show.
That was awesome.
Where it was, we were talking about this earlier. We don't actually know where this place was, but it was somewhere on like these south burbs, close to Indiana. And for Suffocation, so Satyricon came out first, and which was awesome to see Satyricon, because how often do you see them in the U.S.? Then Suffocation came on, and this was Suffocation's first tour after reforming. And that place was so fucking brutal that the crowd pulled the lighting down, so half the stage was in the complete dark, and half the stage was lit properly, and the band just kept playing.
That's awesome.
And some dude, like a lighting guy, was walking across the top of the crowd to try to like reconnect the wiring that the crowd had ripped out.
It was like really low ceilings.
To reconnect to like get the full, lighting on the band. Yeah. And then at the end of that show, after the show, some random guy who I saw at many metal shows in the mid-2000s walked onto Morbid Angel's tour bus as they were counting the money for this show and ended up getting chased out by their manager and by Steve Tucker, the vocalist at the time, and guy ended up
He is the vocalist now.
He is, again, now back in the band. This guy got knocked out by Steve Tucker, punching him in the face with one punch, like 3 feet away from me. And interestingly enough, after this tour is when Steve Tucker left the band and David Vincent came back into the band. So I don't know if there was
in other words,
like,
we're blaming it on that guy.
Yeah, I don't know if there
bus.
was like this was part of the reason why that happened, but that all happened.
Too many assholes walking on tour buses.
But that had to be like the most memorable show. Both Suffocation, like being so crazy that the crowd ripped the lighting out, and then Morbid Angel after the show, their vocalist punching some guy in the face. Like,
so we have reason to believe is the person you described may or may not be, but may be Greg.
We're hoping it's somebody that you guys know.
Greg, the guy Greg Master, who does our website. I texted him.
Definitely.
He has not answered back yet.
Because he's so ashamed that you found out.
You could ask him when you see him in your basement tonight, Luco.
Well, I wanted to answer like right now so I could let them know
hilarious.
on the show. But he hasn't not responded yet. But I really hope it was Greg that got punched in the face.
I'll be disappointed if it's not. Cause
that would be great if we could actually identify who that was that got punched in the face. Because it was literally like 3 feet from me and Steve. Like Steve Tucker, even when like he was yelling at this guy, even pointed to me because this guy's like, "Yeah, I just got on the bus. I wanted to meet the band." And he's like, "This guy didn't get on the fucking bus." And he like pointed at me. Yeah, he pointed right at me.
It would have been funny if you're like, "Hey, don't bring me into this. I have nothing to do with it."
I was like, "This is fucking awesome!" Like, punch this guy in the face, and then like he just kind of like talked himself into being more mad and just decked this guy. And I mean, he rolled backwards on the ground. It was amazing.
It was good times. Tyler, your favorite show?
I don't know.
Three Dog Night?
Probably Bob Dylan. It's probably a Dylan.
That's so lame.
Dylan once though?
No, I've seen Dylan 4 times.
Oh, okay. I would have thought him or Nick Cave would have maybe been.
Yeah, Dylan or Nick Cave or some non-metal band, really.
Dido was awesome. Saw Dido. She was great. Me and the Wretched Disciple guitar player. He
Seeing
was the
Mayhem
only
was
guy
awesome.
who ever saw
Mayhem was
Dido
awesome.
wearing a Suffocation shirt, probably.
That's pretty awesome.
It was awesome. It was a good show. She played her whole second album, which is great.
Still no update from Greg. I really want to know if it was him.
Now,
that got punched in
band
the
you
face.
guys want to see?
Like in terms of, is it still possible?
you haven't-
or
like you haven't
I would
seen
say
before.
Probably not.
Pantera
If like
in their
they're
prime.
already deceased and they might not come back, but
Queen,
Currently
probably.
living.
yeah,
Tom Waits. Tom Waits.
I regret not seeing Pantera because I had an
never
option
saw
to
them.
see them.
Me too. I had an option to see him, and the ticket was $55. And I was like, "Dad, give me $55, and I'll pay you back." And that piece of shit didn't give me $55, so I didn't go.
The other band would be White Zombie. I never got to see White Zombie live. Unfortunately, they broke up when I was still like 14 years old. So it was
imagine if you could have went on that seen them on that tour when it was the War of the Gargantuans, Pantera, White Zombie.
that would have been amazing. There is some recordings that exist out there of the members of Pantera and White Zombie getting drunk and like just like bullshit recording songs which is
Playing
cool to
radio
hear.
covers and shit.
They're really drunk doing like blues shit. It's really like unlistenable unless you're a fan of those bands.
There
I
is
am,
a
so.
tour shirt kicking out that has both bands on the front of the shirt with
That's awesome.
two giant monsters fighting and all the dates listed on the back.
That is the very first tattoo that I ever got when I was 18 years old. Is the Pantera Cowboys from Hell logo. So like that is close to my heart. And White Zombie was the band that got me into metal. So
You should have a White Zombie tattoo.
I should have a White Zombie. I actually thought about getting the White Zombie logo tattoo, and I just never got around to doing it.
I don't get tattoos, but I like telling people they should get tattoos.
You should totally get that as a
should
tattoo
totally get it.
on your forehead.
Totally get
Yes,
penetrate
no.
my ass with an
You're
arrow
just gonna
pointing
get
down
flames
right on
on
your
my
lower
head.
back. You should totally do that.
Oh my goodness! Did you find a picture of this?
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's very
All of
very
the people
Rob Zombie
listening
looking.
All the
don't know
listeners
what
can
we're
see that
what
t-shirt.
we're
All
looking at, but
all the listeners can see this picture I'm looking at. That's
$95
off of-
bucks on
that's
eBay
the
right
guy,
now.
Astro Creep, the little drawing from Astro Creep in the front.
Rob Zombie's a better artist than he is vocalist or filmmaker. Yeah, I said it.
That is unfortunately true.
it's not like you're ruffling feathers with that comment,
Eh.
though. I mean, he's shitty at basically everything he does.
House of a Thousand Corpses is a blatant ripoff of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
A lot of movies are, but
It's
Devil's
not even
Rejects
a
is
good
good.
rip-off, though.
Rejects is solid.
Rejects was just how many times can we say stupid things that people are like, oh man, they're swearing in a movie.
Brian
know.
Posehn was in it too, and Brian Posehn's good people, so
Yeah, but still.
that's the only thing good I have to say about Rob
Devil's
Zombie's
Rejects
film
2.
career.
Double
believe-
or yeah, that's solid.
No, he's
believe-
talking about the sequel that he's making.
I believe
Oh,
they're
he's
making a
doing
sequel.
another one now. Yeah, it's
he
probably
can't
gonna
get
be
money
bad.
to make any other movie except a sequel for a successful one. Well, his Halloween movies are so bad that I like. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but they have Danielle Harris in it, and Danielle Harris.
And
is
you see her titties.
amazing.
Right? Right?
That's awesome.
Yeah. Even though they're bloody, I was like, all right, sweet. Nice titties. All right, sorry. Pantera, War of the Guard. Okay, this is
Ridiculous.
All right.
All right.
How's that?
So where can everybody find everything that is Gorphanage on the internet?
We're on
Pornhub.
We're on Facebook. Obviously, that's our go-to official webpage because
Yeah.
we don't want to spend money on a real one.
Facebook.com/Gorphanage.
Yes. Twitter, which I hardly ever use. Twatter. I just post like flyers on there, and then we're on. We're not on Instagram. Maybe we should be. We're on Reverb Nation as well, and then like I said, our official YouTube page that has a bunch of goofy shit on it. We try to edit the video so they're as silly as possible, because usually the live footage is just kind of noisy, and it's so we like to interrupt it with silly samples, just like our music.
Siri samples.
Siriness. I think that's
Siri samples.
it, right?
What?
Yeah.
Huh? I think that's it. And then our records on CD Baby, iTunes, Amazon, all that good stuff.
Spotify.
To download Spotify.
Spotify.
Yeah.
You can get T-shirts if you catch Eric in his car.
If you find my car,
the CDs.
you can get
The CDs are in there, too.
Shirts.
Description of your vehicle so listeners can find it.
And we're working on a new one, like we said. Hopefully that's done
No,
before
not
3
gonna do
years
that.
from now. So it should be, because last time we kind of just, we just got a little bit of money, like booked studio date. 9 months later, got a little bit of money, booked again. This time we waited till we had a good, decent-sized budget.
Better
so-
overall too.
And we're happy with it.
You guys
We're
got
making
4
it
more
noisier.
sessions.
You're a
to,
fantastic
Got 4 more
salesman
sessions to
there,
finish.
Tyler. Don't buy this album. Buy the one that we
Don't buy
haven't
that's on
finished
sale.
yet.
Wait for the one that's not done.
It's going to be
Well,
great.
Yeah, but you can watch our growth. Like, buy the first one and be like, "Oh, this is not bad," and then buy the second one and you're
And
like,
it's gooder.
This is what they've evolved
It's gooder,
into.
more good.
Look at this one. This one is gooder
More
than the
good.
other one.
So I
more
wanted
good.
to ask you guys and go one by one and talk about the awards that you guys have won.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Starting with, what was it like to win the band that looks the most like Marion Brando?
Marlon Brando.
Marion Brando.
On
Come on,
we-
Morgan.
Marlin.
We lost
Okay, it
that
looks like
award.
an I, but
I
okay.
thought this was a professional.
Yeah. Yeah, you and me both, brother. you
So
and me
it
both.
was the Academy Awards gave you this.
Yes, we all put on a lot of weight, so we were like 300 pounds. So it was like later era Marlon Brando.
Okay.
And we won. It was good.
We also like to use butter when we fuck
Yeah.
ass.
We like to do that.
Okay.
When you fuck
The Marlon
ass, you
Brando
use
fan
butter.
will know the
When you-
reference. That's the best Marlon
The-
Brando movie.
the next
Well, how many
award-
bands have you had in here that have talked about Last Tango in Paris? How many?
None.
None.
I'm gonna say
None.
zero.
You're the
Breaking
first.
new ground. here.
Zero have used butter to fuck ass.
Also in 2014, you won the Cable Ace Award for the hottest strippers for a live folk act.
We did. We had a folk period for a while. We don't like to talk about it.
I was a huge fan of Oliver and, these kind of folk black metal-y things, so it was just kind of a thing that happened.
But we said, you know what over doesn't have? Strippers.
Strippers. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So we fixed that and got an award for it.
Okay.
They just made an award
So
for
the
you
People's Choice Award in 2014 for you guys was the best male genitalia hair grooming for an adult contemporary artist.
That was all Steve.
That took the
So I
most
want to know
effort.
who they
Honestly,
judged.
That was just me, and I just posted my picture 3 times, and they thought it was all 3 of us. So I'll take full credit for that.
I mean,
Take
he
pride.
Just
in
styled the hair differently.
He's
and
got just, amazing pubic hair.
Yes, yes. I try.
Okay.
I'm not humble about it either. Really.
not humble about it either.
And then in 2015, the Grammys awarded you the sexiest band alive.
Yeah, but fuck the Grammys. We didn't even go to that.
So what awards were you up for last year?
Metallica probably won.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
Jethro
Je-
Tull,
yeah,
man.
Jethro
Let's
Tull
be
beat
honest
us.
here.
I mean, Jethro
That
Tull
joke is
are
still great.
much more metal.
Any award that we get nominated for, we lose to Jethro Tull. It's horrible. It's just horrible.
Honestly, in all seriousness, I forgot that we put those awards on there. So you caught me off guard with those. I was like, oh shit! I didn't know we were going to be asked about the awards.
I mean, you guys seriously got to bring a flute if you guys want to compete with Jethro Tull.
So
we don't have a flute, but
have a
this
skin
guy
flute,
does
several of
play
them.
accordion.
So the new
He
album
doesn't play the skin flute?
is going to feature the
That guy
accordion.
plays skin
yes,
flute.
for real, it is actually.
Yes, we are going to have trumpets and accordions on the next album.
Who's playing the trumpet?
A buddy of ours.
A buddy
who
of ours, yeah.
Played it in high school, so we figured he could still play it in his 30s now.
We
Why not?
figured, yeah.
He
You
still
can
got
still
it.
play it, right?
He still got it. That's good enough. So
Tyler, you're going to be playing the accordion on the new CD?
I am, yes.
Super stoked.
Yeah, it's a bit out of my comfort zone, but I think I can
That's
manage.
good.
he also has a banjo he can't play.
Yeah, that's true too. I have a lot of instruments that I just can't play.
Yeah, I have a keyboard.
You're
sitting in my
like
bedroom.
Prince
I
if
never
you
touch
sucked at all them instruments that you own.
Exactly. I'm Prince if he was a terrible musician.
it. Anti-Prince.
Oh my god.
All I can do is play shitty death metal riffs.
Good times. I said it again. Fuck. There it is.
I heard you, since you said that, I heard you say it 2 times.
See? Yep.
Well, Morgan's got a couple Tutri announcements
do.
for us tonight.
Just a couple to start wrapping up the night.
What the fuck you got for us?
The Most of Me have a brand new single out called The Unknown. It's available for free to download on their Bandcamp. They're also going to be releasing another single called Disloyalty very shortly. That will be a part of their upcoming album to be released later this year. And the band is coming back on our show as of right now, July 3rd. So stay tuned to that. Hopefully the album's out and we can play more music.
Which
off of
band?
that. The Most of Me.
Okay.
Calm down.
Sorry.
Okay. 4 days and counting, but that was probably 2 days ago. So 2 days and counting.
2 days and counting.
Punch Cabbie is releasing their music from We Push Empire. So take a look to their Facebook page for more information.
I keep getting notifications on my phone. That's why I have it out, because I'm waiting for Greg to
Okay.
respond whether or not he was punched in the
This
face.
just in. March Madness is
Every time it's
going
not him,
on
it's
at Cairo Ale House this coming Friday the 9th.
the basketball tournament?
Not at all. Features So-Called Saints, Children of Dismay, Wings of Severance, and a logo I can't figure out what it says.
So a black metal band.
Absentia,
That sounds right.
I think.
That's it.
Probably.
You got
Doors
it.
are at 7. It's $10, 21 and up. Go to Cairo Ale House. Wings of Severance also have a brand new tank top out. I got mine in the mail on Sunday. It's fucking sweet. I'm ready for summer. And they're only really selling it at shows unless you hit them up on their Facebook page. Then they'll mail it to you.
You guys should make jizz rags.
We'll look into that.
All right. Livewire Lounge presents March 14th. Get ready to see Wraith playing with Air Raid,
I can give you my sock.
Evil
I borrow your sock?
Warning, and Steel. I don't even
Panther?
know.
Steel Panther?
No, it's a band from Texas, and I don't even know.
Panther?
Steel
Prophet.
Bear Night. Oh, I don't even know.
Steel Bear Night?
Steel
I
Man,
don't know
Bear
what it
Pig.
says. But
Steel
anyway,
Man,
Air
Bear
Raid
Pig?
and Wrath are playing Livewire Lounge March
Wraith?
14th. Wraith. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
Wraith, Morgan.
Okay.
Wraith.
Cool story, bro. And this just in, Proudest Angel got announced today that they are headlining at the House of Blues in Chicago Thursday, March 29th. Proudest Angel is going to be joining us our show later this year in July. Pretty sure it's July.
July.
So check that out next week on our show. Upcoming. Let me think. Oh, I've got it.
Come on, who is it?
It works.
Tell me.
It works.
Who?
I'm going to tell you.
Right now.
Give me a second.
I want to know.
No.
Who is
you gotta
it?
wait. Urzuli. No, I'm kidding. It's Oh, it's the 13th. Okay, Belvedere is coming down from Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Belvedere? Like
They're
Mr.
called
Belvedere?
Actually, the cool story about this band, they found out about us because last year when we were at Warped Tour, I was passing out some business cards, and Deviant Art Clothing, I gave my business card to the guy that was selling the merch there, and he passed my business card on at the next stop to somebody that was friends with one of the guys in Belvedere, the band, and he hit us up on Facebook saying,
Not
hey.
the town Belvedere.
No, it's a band called Belvedere.
Not the TV show called Mr. Belvedere.
Or the
I
road
love that
live
show.
off of. I live off Belvedere.
No, not at all.
Bob Euchre. So great.
That's all I got. So join us at Fitz's Spare Keys every Tuesday night in Elmhurst.
Wait, where are they from? Belvedere.
Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Oh, not Belvedere then.
So they probably like Bob Euchre then.
I don't know.
Probably huge
I
fans.
can ask
Yeah,
them
he-
for you.
Voice of the Milwaukee Brewers.
You guys have business cards we can get, by the way?
I think
Yeah.
we're
Yeah,
scraping
we
the
do.
bottom.
I'll
We
get
got
those
it.
to Jenny, too. So
We got
she
at
could,
least
pass them out to
one.
bands.
Jenny.
That would be
You
good.
don't like my
We got a
Bob
shit
Euchre
ton of
humor?
them.
Awesome.
The hell out of this band.
We do, we do.
I'm quitting
going on
right
over here?
now. I'm quitting the band.
Oh, on air, breaking news.
and shake-ups.
We
Right
still
now.
have
All over Bob
I
Euchre.
recorded
And
all my
Mr.
guitar
Belvedere.
parts for the next album.
We
but
still
no,
have
fuck Bob Euchre.
one track left to play for Gorphanage for tonight that we can go out. Any last comments for the audience for
Where the
shout outs?
Where are the shows again?
Shows again are Irish Mill this Saturday with us and D Indeed. Two bands playing an hour each. Should be a very silly
In
time.
Mundelein.
In Mundelein, sorry, thank you. And then Twatfest, Maggot Twat's 20th anniversary show, Brower House, April 7th, which is a Saturday from 6 p.m. to whenever the hell Maggot Twat's done breaking shit.
Probably before
Should.
2 p.m.
Probably.
Perfect.
That should be fucking absolutely amazing. So, good times.
Perfect.
Check it out.
Very perfect.
Tickets $10 now, $12 at the door.
I think that is
Not
correct.
bad
yes.
pricing.
Oh, the Irish Mill show this Saturday is free, by the way. I should have.
What?
I always forget to mention the free shows.
So if you run into me at the door, it'll be $10, but otherwise it's free.
In Mundelein? We're in Mundelein.
Irish Mill. We played Irish Mill like a couple times a year, probably. So they're good to us
First
there.
ever show was
First ever show was there too.
And
Nice.
this is a good track to end the night because our journey is slowly coming to an end. So what is Journey's End about?
So this song is very personal to me. It's definitely like something that comes from the root of my soul. I cannot stand a lot of 70s stadium rock,
'Cause he's
especially Journey.
'Cause he's
So
wrong.
this song is really my expressed how much I dislike the band Journey. But I will say, generally when we play this song live nowadays, we
Steve
don't
Perry.
do the lyrics that are on the album. The song kind of through several shows that we play live has evolved, and now the song generally when we play it live is about breakfast food.
It's now called Oats and Bran.
And it's now called Oats and Bran. So
don't
even
even
though it's
remember the
Journey's
story
End on
how
the
that
album and it's about how much I hate Journey, the song nowadays when we play it live, if you hear us say we're going to play a song called Oats and Bran, that's what this song is.
Well, he hates Journey so much that he can't even play the song about
That's right.
hating Journey.
So
What
he has to
makes
think
you
about
hate them
breakfast
so
here.
much?
Now I think about breakfast.
Was there a
food.
song that just touched
Perry.
you so personally
'Cause
that you
Eric's
just?
ears don't work. That's why.
I really do not like
Steve Perry?
Steve Perry is awful. That is.
Oh,
that
he's a
is-
beautiful
What
man.
about
He's a
Steve
beautiful
Perry's
man.
solo project?
I don't know that I've ever heard any of Steve
Oh,
Perry's.
Sherry?
No,
Good shit.
that just-
Great
Steve
shit.
Perry O'Sherry.
I mean, it just
Steve
seems
Perry,
like
O'Sherry?
It's great
I,
shit.
I mean, I don't like certain bands. I'm not going to listen to their solo albums either. So, Journey is one of those bands. I don't like generic stadium rock. As Odorous from Guar put it, crap rock. Like that defines Journey for me.
I love crap rock. Their Indonesian singer is good now too. Is he Indonesian or
sounds-
Philippine? He's Filipino.
He sounds just like Steve
From
Perry.
American Idol?
I will say that. As much as I don't like Steve Perry, that guy sounds exactly like Steve Perry, and it's creepy how
awesome.
how
He's-
on he sounds.
When he became the vocalist, he's like, you know what? There's this guy out there. His name is Eric, and he fucking hates Steve Perry and Journey. I'm gonna sound just like Steve
It
Perry.
is
that
it is
guy off.
uncanny
Just to
how
piss
much
him
he
off.
sounds like Steve Perry.
I saw Journey and Sammy Hagar at Tweeter Center.
Awesome.
And I thought Steve Perry was back in the band because that's how much that dude sounds.
Were you like far enough
just-
back that like if you?
I couldn't see him. No,
Yeah,
yeah,
then
you're
totally-
in the fucking
you're totally
grass,
thinking
you
of
know.
the same dude.
I was like, dude, is Steve Perry back in Journey?
It's nuts.
And he's Asian now?
And
What
he's
happened?
Asian?
Steve Perry is Asian, shorter, younger, and voice is still killer though. It's great.
Killer voice.
Well, we're still gonna listen to the track, and we're gonna
This next one's called
hit on
Steve Perry.
Journey with
Oh,
you for
Sherry.
the rest of the night. So we want to thank you guys for making the trip down here, hanging out with
thank
the
you
Metal
guys so much for
Experience.
having us.
Of
So-
course,
so much.
you'll be back on hopefully with the new album when it comes
We
out.
would love to if you guys will have us. Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
Of course. This was
Check
a
out
lovely time.
the Hey Look What I Found band, Eternal Returns from Thane, India. And the bands that open tonight's show, Wraith and Withering Soul. But we've got one more Gorphanage song to go out to. What is that last song again?
Journey's End. It's about
Steve
killing
Perry.
the members of Journey and summoning a demon to do it.
Perfect.
Oh, actually, Jenny, my wife, who works for you guys, she whispers on
Works
this song.
for us.
She works for you guys.
Yes, she does some really great writing album reviews and
that implies
working
money.
on interviewing bands for us
She
for our
does.
blogging.
She does spooky backwards vocals on this. It was actually Eric's idea to have somebody like whisper essentially the names of every band member in Journey. So Jenny is the one doing it, and then we played it backwards, so it's like you're speaking backwards.
Did she
equals
say
evil,
Steve
and then
Perry
summon-
or
Oh, yeah, for
the
sure.
Asian guy?
No, she said the original classic.
Yeah, I don't think the Asian guy was on the album. I think
No,
we
he's
just did
not.
like
It's
the
a classic
classic
lineup. We did the
Classic
go-to Journey classic.
That's pretty
lineup.
awesome.
Perry
So when you
doing
hear that
now?
whisper, that's her. She's on there.
Maybe going solo.
He came out
Going
with that,
solo?
He came out with that song, "Oh Sherry."
He's retired now. He did the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but he didn't
Sherry.
sing.
At all.
He just
All
kind
that.
of
no,
showed up.
not.
Let's see.
He's a beautiful
Joe
man.
Perry
Eric's wrong.
Journey. Let's see. What is Joe?
Actually, go to YouTube and type in Steve Perry, "Oh Sherry," and it's
a killer song.
wonderful. But
All right.
fuck
Journey's
that for right
End.
now. Gorphanage with the song "Journey's End." Let's fucking rock out!